Hello, and welcome to another wonderful episode of Admincast. I am, as always, your host, the Last Word Bender, and today I have with me, how should I refer to you? It's Katie, Cupcake now?
I don't care any of
Okay,
them.
okay, Katie, I don't know. This is, of course, the podcast where I talk to people from around the Facebookosphere of mediocre humor pages. If you're listening out there and right now a parent is telling you to do chores, now is a great time to turn up the podcast and pretend you didn't hear them. Of course, if you're a Batman, you probably don't have that problem, so keep doing you. Uh, how are you today, Katie?
I'm pretty good.
That's good. Now, you work for co-run Captain Killjoy?
Yep.
Alright.
I also, obviously, Briny Bob, because that's all of us do that one.
Yeah.
Then I help out in another few pages too, along with my own.
Hmm. Oh, yes, you do have a personal page, that's right. Keep forgetting.
I always feel so bad promoting it on Captain Killjoy, though. Not bad enough to stop doing it, but Lindsay always tells us to only share pages if they're clean, and mine's not 100% G-rated.
Yeah, same
So
with
it's I
yeah.
feel so bad because it's the thing is I feel like I post pictures there that I can't post on the other two pages, the
Mm-hmm.
other two main pages that I run. So it's okay, I don't want to stop sharing it because only have 100 some odd likes, but at the same time I don't want to um have to say, oh yeah, my page isn't G rated, so I'm sorry. I mean, I feel kind of bad, but not bad enough to stop.
Yeah, I've encountered that with my own personal last word bender page where it's well, I mean technically it's not endorsed by Punny Pete. I just tag it in every single thing I post. So, yeah.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad sometimes about it just because, I know one of my friends was really annoyed because one of his friends was doing that. I'm not going to name any names, but he was exploiting his own page on a friend of mine's page. And it was and I said, well, I kind of do that too because in every post I tag myself.
Yeah. Yeah. So how long have you been Facebooking?
Facebooking or on Captain Killjoy or just
Well,
Facebook in general.
I how long have you been running pages, I guess I meant to say.
Um, well, back in I think 2012 or so, I started running a page for my book. And then in 2013, for 5 days, I helped sell the dungeon, which at that point had about 50,000 likes. And
Hmm.
then shortly thereafter, I think in June or July, I started helping out with Captain Killjoy, and I've been there ever since. And then I created a lyrics page in 2013, and then I created with that one. I don't go by Kupkate; it's just for my lyrics. And then I help out on another page that I'm not going to say because I'm kind of trying to keep that on the DL. But
Mm-hmm.
anyway, and then of course Briny Bob started working at the same time, and then of course Cupcake. I started that in late 2013, I think. So it was so yeah, I've been kind of running several different pages during my Facebook life.
I got you. Uh, quick correction on the last episode. By the way, the last episode came out a month ago, uh, and that's because I had finals, and as such, I couldn't really put out anything because that was
I know
yeah,
that feel, bro.
yeah. And I would have done it a week or two ago, but I had camping, and that was ugh. So there you go. But anyway, in the last episode, I claimed that Punny Pete was the first page I worked on, and that's simply not the case. For you see, this is embarrassing. Way back in seventh grade, I started a page called Badum Crash, which no one has heard of, and for good reason, because it was awful. And I dragged two, air quotes, friends into it who I didn't know very well, and they didn't know me very well. And about 90% of the posts on that page were me apologizing for there not being enough posts on that page.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't be laughing, but I just find
No.
that hilarious.
Laugh away. It's hilarious and pathetic. I also dragged on Frodo Kenobi, who was... Have I told the story of how I met, of how I know Frodo Kenobi through...
Not to me.
Okay, I'm not sure if I have on the cast or not. I probably... No, I don't think I have. Okay, so let's tell that story. So, Frodo Kenobi, I won't say his real name because I don't know if he wants me to or not. I doubt he does.
I think I know who you're talking about, though.
Yeah. We were actually friends way back in, like in person, back when, we were, 8. Because he's only, a month older than me. You see, I should have asked his permission, but I honestly don't care. His dad, was in the military. He left, but, he was stationed to where I live, here in Washington. And, yeah, we were the best of pals for about 2 years until his dad was, re-stationed somewhere else, which was really sad because, growing up, I had about one friend, consistently, and it was never the same person, because I feel
Aw.
like whenever a kid, found out that they were going to move away, they said, oh, well, let's befriend him. He seems liable for heartbreakage. So,
Oh,
yeah.
that's sad. I kind of was the same way, only not quite as much. I was always a people person, but people weren't always a Katie person. So I kind of overwhelmed people and whatever, so I didn't have a whole lot of friends as a kid.
Yeah. Two running themes with people on this podcast: homeschooled and not a lot of friends. So
I was never homeschooled, though. That's the thing. Kind of, at my last semester of high school, I sort of homeschooled, but I did an online thing. My mom had nothing to do with it. The only thing she did was keep me on a schedule so that I actually did the work.
Yeah.
But other than that, no, I was not, not homeschooled at all.
Alright.
So, which is why it's really weird that I actually didn't have a whole lot of friends, because, I was actually around people.
Alright. I went to a private school up until 6th grade, and, with very, very small classes, there were about never more than 20 kids per class. And so the thing is, when you're in a private Christian school, the chances of there being someone like you, or specifically like me, were quite low. So,
I know
yeah.
the feeling. I went to a private Christian school till I was in 4th grade, and before we moved, and man, it was not fun. I had a teacher who picked on me to the point where I just wanted to die. That was fun. So it was just, oh my gosh, it was terrible. And then it got even worse once I left that school. So it was okay, that was not bullying. That was not that bad in comparison to what was coming.
Yeah. Ours was culty. You know what I mean? It was separated from any kind of, civilization by about 3 miles of forest.
Huh.
And I think...
Kind of isolated?
Yeah, and at one point, we had these nature walks, and we go into the forest, and I found a drug den, or a meth lab or something.
Wow.
That was 3rd grade.
Dang.
So, yeah. So that's how I met my dealer, and we've been friends ever since. And so, some stories do have a happy ending. So yeah. Of course. And then after after 6th grade, we transitioned, or I transitioned to a public school.
Those are fun.
Yeah, in not the nicest part of town. And it was very difficult because at my old school, you got reprimanded if you said, like, golly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, or shut up, or what the heck, stuff like that. But at this new school, people dropped the F-bomb on a daily basis, and nobody batted an eye. So...
Big culture shock, I can get that.
Basically, but then I kind of... But then coming back to that first mindset, joining these pages was almost a welcome relief, so...
Yeah, clean humor is always like... Because then it's like, oh, I can actually show my mom this picture.
Right. Unless it has alcohol in it, in which case, oh no, then her head will implode or something.
My mom would still find it funny because she's cool like that.
Yeah.
I'm never ever showing her this Admincast now.
Oh.
But no, I mean, she really isn't. I mean, yeah, something she kind of is, but I'm just gonna shut up now before I say something like, that's gonna get me in trouble. But, but yeah, she would be okay even if it was something like with alcohol in it.
Yeah. My mom doesn't have a Facebook, and I praise the heavens every day that she is technologically inept and will never get one. So... I mean, don't get me wrong, my mom is she's a scientist. She saves people's lives every day. She's a genius. But, she can't change her phone wallpaper, so...
Yeah, well, we're all geniuses in different ways.
Yeah, exactly.
For example, I could write lyrics on the spot. I actually did that last night, but I couldn't draw a dog to save my life.
Yeah, I feel that.
So yeah, it's just we're all kind of gifted and whatever in our own way.
Yeah. Yeah. There's your lesson, kids. You can take away from this podcast. We all... some of us can't, tie our shoes or do basic math. Can't do basic math, or some of us...
That's what calculators and Velcro shoes are for.
Yeah, some of us stutter and, But, if you're not skilled at anything, you can always run a Facebook page.
As long as you know how to use a computer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So there you go. There's your lesson. Put that in your anime. And smoke it.
Wow, that was like... I don't even know how... still trying to make that register and see if it makes any sense to me. And it still doesn't.
Alright. Yeah, that's something my mom says a lot whenever I make any kind of attempt at humor. Alright, let's do things we ingested. Play the theme song, Corey. So, of course, this is the section of the podcast where we talk about the things that we have watched, or read, or listened to, or played, or ate, or in some way put into us. Why don't you go first?
Okay, I've been very addicted to Criminal Minds and SVU, but mostly Criminal Minds lately because I kind of like one of the guys on the show, and it makes me very happy to see him.
Oh, right on.
And I haven't really eaten anything interesting, so I can't say anything about that.
I see.
No.
Let's see. I guess I should talk about, I saw Jurassic World the other day.
Oh, nice. My brother saw that. He really liked it.
Oh. Can he see or hear, or... No, I'm just kidding.
I was about to say, it's like, barely, but yeah, he could see.
Oh. Yeah, I saw it. I am very torn on it, and here's why. Um, it's really bad, but it's also really good.
You should have seen the look on my face when you said that.
Yeah, I don't know how to describe it. It's, I guess, mild spoilers. If you're interested in seeing, I'll put a time skip in the description that you can skip to if you don't want to hear spoilers or anything. But it's not going to be too major. I really like the Jurassic Park series. Even the sequels, I think, are still pretty good. I know I've talked about this before, but yeah, I like them. And one of the biggest criticisms people have about the first one specifically is that it's just about the dinosaurs. The dinosaurs are the only cool part, and the characters and plot and everything else are terrible.
I thought the plot was fun.
And I disagree with this because I think that I enjoy the characters and the plot and all the other stuff.
I thought the plot was fine. I mean, the kids weren't insufferable like a lot of, those movies with kids and whatever in them.
Right. However, that criticism absolutely holds up in this one, in Jurassic World. It's just these two kid characters. It's just guess their personalities right now. Guess.
Insufferable and annoying.
Yes. What? Here's a hint. One of them's younger and the other one's older.
Okay, so they fight a lot?
Basically. And one of them, the younger one, is the nerd. And you know how they convey that he's the nerd? He spouts facts just every 12 seconds. Just 82 teeth! The entire park is 900 cubic meters or whatever he says. But the older kid, who's in high school...
Oh boy.
He's a womanizer.
Oh my god.
He's into babes. That's the extent of his personality.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's... Couldn't even get Chris Pratt right. He's just... He could have been played by anybody. Really. Like... It's... And the effects are terrible, too. Looks like something off the PS2.
Hey, some perfectly good games are on the PS2.
That's true. But when you compare it, if the original is held up for its, groundbreaking special effects, but these just they look like something off of not even DreamWorks, like Blue Sky. Anyway, that's my rant about Jurassic World. Like, comment, subscribe. But I will say the ending fight almost makes it worth it. That one's pretty cool. So anyway, well, now that everyone's stopped listening,
it's so funny that you talk about Jurassic World. My brother just wore his Jurassic World shirt today. Like, we went out somewhere to eat and whatever with my dad and my mom and my sister, and we all kind of went out to eat and whatever, and he just wore his shirt out. Because I think my grandma got it for him, because she actually dragged my grandma along to go see it. just to get out of my cousin's graduation party. So he decided, okay, I'm going to go stay with Grandma. Maybe she'll take me to go see Jurassic World today, and then I don't have to go to the graduation party. So, yeah, he got out of it. I didn't. I could have, but I'm like, nah, I don't really want to see it. I hadn't seen the first one yet. Or the second or third, for that matter.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if other people enjoy it, that's fine. That's them. That, you know, that's something I have to remind myself of a lot. You know,
Yeah.
Me not liking something.
Yeah, I know how that is.
Yeah, does not translate to other people being required to not like something. So
yeah, it's hard to admit, hey, this is my opinion, not theirs.
right.
And they're not stupid for not having my opinion, even though they really are.
Yeah. On the opinions are fine as long as they're not hurting anybody or are different to mine. So yeah. Let's see. It's been a month, so I've been watching a lot of different things. Let me think on what else I've watched. I started watching an anime again. Hopefully this one won't leave me as angry as the last one. I'm not sure if I talked about this before, but the last time I tried watching an anime, I watched Death Note, which I really enjoyed until a certain part where a certain character died, and they introduced all these new characters that we're supposed to care about, and it's just kind of a mess, and yeah. So, I started watching Neon Genesis Evangelion, which is very good. So that's the end of that.
A friend of mine once recommended that I watch anime. We were going to, but we had to Skype about it and like share screens because he can't get Hulu in his country. And so we had to like share screens. And it was like because it was on Hulu, and then we ended up talking so much so we didn't even watch it. So it's like, okay, I'm not sure that it was meant to be just yet. Yeah. So we just got to chatting and whatever, and totally forgot about it.
Yeah. I last year in school I took I took first year Japanese. I don't know why. Because I felt like it. And when we watched like the first episode of like a few animes, and no one really sold them to me, so shrug.
Yeah, some people weren't. A lot of my friends are really in anime, but I just haven't gotten into it yet. I have one friend who always talks in Japanese to me, and it's like, what are you saying to me? Like, don't you know that I don't know any Japanese?
Ohayo gozaimasu.
All I know is sayonara and konnichiwa. Oh, and sushi, but I don't know if that even counts. And sashimi, basic food words, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Wasabi.
I always had the idea for like a character, like a. If I were to ever like make a movie or something, if there was ever a character from a different country, their dialogue would just be like, you know, the American stereotypes about that country. So like, or like what people know from that country, like very basic. So like if there was a Japanese character, they just go, "Bento boxes spirited away," you know, or like in Mexico they go, "Bullfighting taco, bell."
You're gonna insult someone's mother if you do that.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And you don't want to insult someone. That's actually why I'm kind of like, okay, I need to stop talking. I need to stop talking about Japanese words now because I'm gonna insult someone.
Yeah, well, yeah. That's the thing about kind of off-colored humor. It's like, you know, like I find it very funny. I find it funny, but it's not those points where it's like,
Typically, unless something's like a personal attack, I'm fine with like, if somebody says, oh, people who like any sort of pop music are idiots, that's one thing, but saying you're a loser because you like pop music, that's gonna insult me a little bit because it's a personal attack.
Right.
But if it's just like, oh, all conservatives are idiots, or all people who like pop music are idiots, or whatever, yeah, whatever, I've heard it all before.
Right.
I mean, I try not to make off-color jokes, but, you know, it's kind of like, life's too short to get offended by everything.
Right. Yeah. Tumblr, but, you know.
Yeah, I remember, oh wait, I don't even want to tell that story. I might tell it to you later. I just am afraid it's going to be too, not kid-friendly for this stream, or this cast, so.
Alright.
But yeah, it's just, I've heard some things about Tumblr. I haven't really gone on there very much, but I've heard some things.
I love it. I love using it. But for the people that primarily use these pages and run these pages, probably do not.
Yeah.
Which is probably because I differ in certain political beliefs, but anyway. Oh yeah, I saw that drama going down because of a certain topical event that I don't want to get into.
I literally just said, okay, I'm not getting into that.
Yeah,
Everybody just leave me alone, I'm not getting into it.
I saw the post, I was like, oh, that's interesting. I'll say something about that. 125 comments. I'm gonna leave now.
Yeah, I think everybody kind of left that, because I saw that, I think everybody's like, okay, yeah, we're done.
Yeah.
It's past midnight. I think one person said it's past midnight, leave me alone.
Yeah. Yeah. Things heating up in the pity party group. Burn it down! This is how an empire ends! In flames! The king is dead, long live the king! So yeah.
Oh yeah, it's up to 136 comments now.
Oh boy!
I just checked. And nobody said anything about, in like almost a day, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Political debates get, like, so heated anywhere you go.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I think that's yeah. Yeah. I considered joining a debate club, and I just I realized, like, most of my debates kind of end with, alright, well, alright.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I never had a debate club at my school, or else I might have seriously considered joining, because it does seem like something that would be fun to do.
Right.
But it just was, I don't know.
Yeah. Think about all that. I get a lot of my, my pictures for Pete and my personal page from Tumblr. Just because it has it's a pretty solid and reliable source for new pictures.
I usually go to Failbook and just take the clean ones. Because Failbook has a lot more, like, trashy ones, but, you know, there is some clean ones in there.
Right. And see, that's the thing, like, yours is just more general humor, while mine is very specifically puns. And so I feel like sometimes that can be both a good thing and a bad thing, because when you have a limitation like that, it makes it more clear, like, this is what I'm looking for. Well, with yours, it's more like I tried. That's another thing I did. I was on Dejinja's page.
I tried his page too.
Yeah, I was on there for a while. I may have told this story or not. It's been a month since I've last done this, so I don't know what I've said or I haven't said. But I started off trying to post, you know, the kind of general non-pun humor, but after a while it was just kind of like, I don't really have much to say. It was just, yeah. So I just trolled the page basically, and then I quit. And I'm definitely certain that I talked about this, so. There you go.
Yeah, I quit because I couldn't quite channel Dejinja very well, and at that point he wasn't, like, letting people use specific usernames whenever they posted. It was all kind of supposed to be under his name.
That's right.
And I couldn't just capture, like, his personality on the website. I quit, like, by choice. It wasn't like with Zelda Dungeon where I was kind of forced off the page. I quit by choice because I'm like, I just can't capture this as well as I should.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, okay, you know, whatever, it's fine.
Yeah.
He had several other admins, so...
Yeah. I've never been, like, fired.
Well, kind of what happened with the page that I was helping with before was that two people it was Zelda Dungeon. The Legend of Zelda is a game I didn't get into until I was 16 or so, whenever the 3DS came out.
Mm-hmm. And
I was writing a blog entry about, about Operation Moonfall, which is Majora's Mask coming to 3DS, and, but it slipped that I didn't really get into Zelda until the 3DS came out. So then all the fanboys were freaking out and telling me that I shouldn't work on the page and whatever else, and so I said something to the
fake nerd girl. Fake nerd girl.
And so then I said something to the page owner, and he immediately took me off the page. And I'm like, okay. He said, I don't think I can work with I don't think I can work with somebody who can't handle conflict. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I was fine until you did that. I mean, I was totally fine. I just wanted to know if you were sure that this was, like, you know, what I should do and whatever. And I'd already, I was going to do some writing for their sister site, but I'd already been told not to do that because I was working the Facebook page. Ugh. So it was like, you gotta be kidding me. So I just I was very depressed for a little bit after that and whatever, but which just kind of led to me kind of battling and resolving some issues with my own personal demons, which I know that seems like really stupid to have to do for a Facebook page, but...
Yeah. I don't know. If you look at, not even the earlier stuff, but kind of just like 6 months ago what I was posting there, a lot of it is kind of depressing, and I was a lot more, like, angrier, and my posts with, like, the, you know, the masterfully censored out swear words, like, they were kind of more, like, mocking the page rules and the page owners, and that's just kind of like, in retrospect, it's like, that's maybe not in the best taste.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
I try to, like, yeah, I do struggle a lot, like, with, like, there are certain other people that I've talked to, even within the group, who struggle with, like, depression and stuff, and I try to keep that off whenever I'm doing the page. Like, there was actually at one point whenever I actually had to take a break from the page because there was some stuff going on and whatever. Some stuff like that was going on. It wasn't just that, it was some other issues at home and whatever, but there was a time whenever I actually had to take a break from Captain Killjoy for a couple of months because just so many things were happening all at once, I couldn't take it.
Right. I see. I forgot to ask you this. What has been your favorite part of doing this whole Facebook thing?
You mean like the adminning?
Yeah, that's what
I don't know. Probably just being able to see that people think I'm funny. Because I'm kind of a bit of a people pleaser, so it's always, like, makes my day when somebody sees my photo and, like, shares it or says, you know, this is, like, the funniest thing I've seen all day. Like, the very first person I ever associated myself with whenever I started to admin on the pages, I put something on Captain Killjoy that he really liked and he commented, and then I put something on Brony Bob later on that day that he liked and commented. I said, you were, like, my new favorite admin for posting this and whatever. So I messaged him on Facebook, and now we text, like, daily. Like, I just texted him earlier today. So it's like, I just, like, love pleasing people, and I love being people's friends, you know, and whatever. And it's like, so it really always, like, makes my day, and whenever somebody sees my picture, says, this is the funniest thing I've seen all day. Thank you. Or, you know, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never, like, reached out to them, but I do have, like, I have, like, one or two, like, favorite fans.
Whenever, like, at one point we kind of did some votes to see, I can't remember when it was, I think it was whenever Gangsta Skittles was still working with us. We decided to see who the favorite admin was.
Oh, yeah,
and
I only got drama.
And oh gosh, don't even get me started. But anyway, I ended up doing this vote. Okay, who's your favorite admin? I got one vote. one of every single fan on that page, one person said that was their favorite admin, but it was my biggest fan. It was the guy that I was just talking about, who I text every day. I'm like, you know what? Totally worth it.
There you go.
If he had a different favorite admin, we'd be having a bit of a talk, but I'm his favorite admin, so I don't even care that nobody else voted for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always, well, I haven't always, but I feel like it's better to have a more devoted fan base that's smaller than a larger fan base that's just kind of like, eh.
Yeah, it's kind of like spreading yourself too thin, almost.
Right.
Like, that was something I remember, like, for example, do you ever use Twitch?
No.
The live streaming site? Well, anyway, if you don't know anything about it, to anybody listening to it, it's basically the site you can go to, like, watch people live stream games, and you can live stream games, and, like, get in their chat and whatever, and talk with the streamer and all their viewers, but, like, I keep on telling people, I don't want to be a big streamer. I mean, I stream occasionally, I haven't streamed recently, but I don't want to be a big streamer. I never want to be a big streamer, because I know then I won't be able to talk to the people who are there with me. I won't be able to keep up with chat. And if you got 1,000 people in there all trying to get your attention, I'd rather have 10 people in there that I can actually talk to than 1,000 that I can't.
Right. Yeah.
Because, I mean, I'm a people, like I said before, I'm a very big people person. So it's kind of like, so I find I take a lot more pleasure out of being able to talk to people and being able to, like, you know, interact with the fans and whatever.
Right. And see, I slightly hold that differently. I feel like, I very much want, at least with my stuff, I want there to be, not necessarily want there to be, but I understand that there's a disconnect between the creator and the audience, and so it's like, on my MS Paint page, really good MS Paint art plug, there would be people asking me to draw them, and the thing is, like, that would require me to go to their personal page, their account, and look through photos of them, and I feel like that's kind of, like, not cool.
I think if they give you permission, though, then it's not a big deal.
You're probably right. Like, the thing is, yeah. And again, with kind of having a larger audience, a page that I cited a few episodes back, Family Friendly Rage Comics, shared that MS Paint page and said, this guy will draw anything you want for free. And that just, like, more than tripled my audience. Like, I had, like, 30, and because of him, I now have, like, 250. So,
Dang.
yeah. But what ended up happening as a result of that was that I was getting too many requests, and I couldn't balance that. That plus the Tumblr, really good MS Paint art, all one word plug. I couldn't balance all that, and so it ended up being too much to handle, and I eventually had to say, like, hey, I'm gonna have to start putting specifics on what I can and can't draw, and which was upsetting for me, because that was something from the outset I said I didn't want to do, so, you know, never deny a guest even the most ridiculous request. So
yeah, I think that what you should maybe do, you know, if you're not comfortable going, like, kind of Facebook stalking them or whatever, maybe, like, go and say, hey, I will draw you, but you have to give me a picture, like, whatever picture you want me to use, because otherwise you give me permission to pick, no matter how unflattering the photo is, to just pick one of you.
Right. And I generally just draw their profile picture, whatever it is. So, like, even if it's, like, their car or something, I just draw their car. So.
That's a good kind of trollish response. A good kind of troll. Like, those are the kinds you're the kind of troll that, like, is a good troll. You know, there's the kind that give trolls a bad name, and you're not one of them.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna shut up now because I'm just making things worse.
Well, no, I've definitely encountered the bad trolls through that page. Like, people have wanted me to draw ISIS.
Oh gosh.
Well, yeah. People have wanted me to draw like naked photos, which I have done just on my Tumblr because they're more friendly to non-safe for work art. But yeah, yeah. There's a difference between trolling to make the person laugh and trolling
to make them cry.
Basically, yeah. Very poignant.
I've trolled, like, I know I have an Ask FM, and on my Ask FM, I one time got a question that said, "What is your favorite song from 1989?" Now, I knew that they wanted me to pick a song from Taylor Swift's new album, but I decided to not go that route. Instead, I pulled up a Wikipedia page with all the songs from the year 1989, and I said, okay, I can't decide. This is really hard. But I'm just gonna go with, have to go with, Paradise City by Guns N' Roses. So then the person writes back and says, no, I meant the Taylor Swift album. What's your favorite song off the Taylor Swift album? And just some of the questions, like, somebody said, you hate Coke or Pepsi and why? And they said, and I said, yes, why not? Because they weren't actually that specific.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, trying to see if there's anything else, because I know that there's, what was I gonna say? I know that there's, like, all sorts of trolly answers they gave, because if you're not going to, if you're not going to be specific about something, that's not my problem.
Right. I've also done that on Omegle and kind of like chat roulette sites.
So you're the kind of person who, whenever somebody says 15M, you'll say, that's pretty tall. I have a picture of that somewhere where somebody said that.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, that's... Although I go on there, and it's just like... It's pretty exclusively people who want to get nudes or kick information, or it's pretty much that. There's also the people that are just like, throw offensive stuff and just hope that maybe it'll shock somebody. And it's just like, stop.
Yeah, you're not fooling anybody.
You're trying to be South Park, and you're just not. You just don't have the wit in air quotes, but you just don't have the wit to pull that off. I'm sorry.
I've had all sorts. Like, I had this one troll who came to my Twitch stream a lot, and what really scared him into not doing it anymore was whenever I stopped streaming, he thought I committed suicide, because I'd always been a little bit depressed.
Oh.
So he seriously thought that I'd committed suicide, and that's why I wasn't streaming anymore. So one day whenever I started streaming, he's like, I'm really sorry, I won't ever do it again, and he hasn't done it since then. Huh. In fact, he was such a big troll that I ended up having to ban like a dozen different accounts one day because he just wouldn't quit coming back. Yeah. And then, so I finally was like, okay, you know what, just leave this guy alone. Like, if you go to my Twitch stream, it's like, just leave him alone, because he's just going to keep coming back.
Yeah. That's another nice thing about kind of having my own page with my own, rules. It's like, I can just ban whoever I want. And I don't have to answer to anybody. It's nice. It's really nice.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's nice having my own page, because, whenever Jackie or Lindsay don't give me the okay to use a picture for Bob or Captain Killjoy, respectively, I can just be like, okay, I'll just use it for my own page then. Like, if I know that they're not going to give me an okay, it's like, you know what, I'm just going to use it for my own page. Whatever. Because on my own page, there are no rules. Like, I have pictures on there that use the F word. Now, I do have a separate folder for those that says mature humor.
Mm-hmm.
So, I do have, So I do kind of have that, whatever. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. I do that a lot. But yeah, my humor is a little bit more mature sometimes, but in other times it's like not.
Yeah.
Kind of just depends, because some of it's, stuff that I actually do post on Captain Killjoy. And then some of it, I got posted on Captain Killjoy, then on the other page I help with, and then on Kupkate later. And it's like kind of, but then there's other photos that I don't post anywhere but Kupkate. Just because of the content or, whatever. Or like if it's a political post and, Jackie doesn't give me the okay.
Right.
Usually she does, but like there's this one that, there's been several actually. Like there's this one that said happy, I feel like it was for 4th of July last year. It said something like Happy 4th of July. Here's a picture of Adolf Hitler or Happy Pearl Harbor Day, something like that. It's like, here's a picture of Captain America punching Adolf Hitler to cheer you up a little bit or something like that. And it was like, okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I thought it was awesome because it was.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, we're about 45 minutes in. Let's break out the questions. I've got a list here of the craziest job interview questions. They're just really just normal interview questions used for anything,
sounds
really.
like fun.
So let's see. So, if you could sing one song on American Idol, what would it be?
Trying to decide on a song that I could sing, because I'm not a very good singer, so it's kind of, I'm a bit of a, maybe the song Little Talks by Monsters and Men. I've been really hooked on that song lately.
Yeah, I got into them recently. They're pretty good. I would sing Skull Crusher Mountain by Jonathan Colton.
Huh.
Yeah.
I was going to jokingly say that I would sing a song by Steve Perry, but then I realized, wait, my voice is slower than his is. Never mind.
Yeah. Alright. If you're a box of cereal, what would you be and why?
Fruity Pebbles, because I'm crazy, and, because I am crazy and colorful.
Alright.
And also because it's loaded with sugar. And all I ever do is act like I'm high on sugar. Like I'm on a sugar high.
Yeah. I'm like off-brand Lucky Charms. I'm like Marshmallow Mateys.
Huh.
Yeah, that's me.
Why is that?
'Cause I'm like the worst version of something else.
I don't know. You don't give yourself enough credit.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes I find I have trouble kind of building my own identity with like comedy and stuff. And well, let's not get too. This is a comedy podcast. Okay. Strap on your party hats, folks. I almost said party fats, folks. Strap on your party hats, folks. Uncle Sunshine's here to cheer you up. Let's see. Why is a tennis ball fuzzy?
That's a good question. Why is a tennis ball
It's not particularly
fuzzy?
like, personal, but
I don't know.
I think it's so that I think it's for people who have like a lot of aggression, and they can imagine that they're when they hit the tennis ball, they're actually hitting like a small fuzzy animal.
Maybe it's so, I do like that theory, but my theory is that maybe it's so like whenever you have sweaty palms or whatever, it doesn't just fall out of your hand.
Does make sense. Yeah.
Although I do like your theory, too.
If there was a movie produced about your life, who would play you and why?
If I were male, I have an idea in mind, but I'm not, so I can't go with that.
Who would that be?
Did you ever watch Criminal Minds?
No.
Well, anyway, there's a character on there named Spencer Reed, and he's pretty much like me in male form, only a lot smarter.
Oh, I think I've seen him. Yeah, I know him, yeah. Okay.
So but yeah, if I were male, I would probably pick him just because I know he could play the part well. But I have no idea who I'd pick for a female. I've kind of thought about that before, but I don't remember what conclusion I came to.
Alright. In terms of male, I think, who could be me?
Will Wheaton.
Yeah, there you go. Will Wheaton. I was also thinking maybe Zach Galifianakis. He's got the beard. Yeah. Yeah. What was the last gift you gave someone?
Let me think for a minute. Well, possibly I gave my counselor's intern a hat and a pair of gloves recently, and I think that might be the most recent.
I see. Very nice of you. For, I believe that would be for Father's Day. I gave, well, I hitchhiked onto my mom's present, which was a Fitbit. So
I did that for Father's Day too, but only my present was broken, so I don't count it. Seriously, the present my mom got 5 super soakers for my sister to give to my dad. She got a little rock fountain and a fire pit. My brother picked the fire pit. My sister obviously picked the super soakers, but you know, we all kind of voted that she should use that one anyway. And then I was going to give him the rock fountain, only whenever he opened it up, it was broken. And since I didn't buy it, technically, I guess I can't really count it. I was going to give him Def Leppard tickets, but I didn't get the money saved up in time.
Right.
Still haven't saved up the money, actually.
Okay. Let's see. None of these are any good for this. You're a new addition to the crayon box. What color would you be and why?
Blue, because I can be sad, but I can also be as bright as the blue sky.
Yeah.
So probably like blue, or I don't know.
Yeah. You're blue. Dabba dee dabba die. Dabba dee dabba die. Dabba dee dabba die. You have a blue house with a blue window. Blue is the color of all that you wear.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a girlfriend, and she is so blue. Do you believe in Bigfoot?
Yeah, I do. I can definitely say for sure that I do, but I don't necessarily think that it's like a Bigfoot. I just think it's an undiscovered species of primate. You know, like a gorilla or whatever.
It's possible. I don't know. A lot of supernatural stuff, I'm just kind of like, not really. I guess cause that's just because I watched a lot of Scooby-Doo as a kid. So.
Yeah. My brother says Scooby-Doo is how I was able to guess the bad guy in Big Hero 6.
Well, to be honest, I think that that might have been a little obvious. But
at the same time, though, it really wasn't. But it was. I'm not going to give it away for anybody listening who hasn't seen it yet. But
it was the cat.
Yeah, it was the cat.
It was the cat all along.
Totally the cat. But yeah, it was kind of like I guessed it. My mom, because everybody had seen it before I had. Everybody in my family, because I think they all kind of like went to the movies to go see it or something, and I didn't. So whenever we first watched it at home, it was like I'm like, oh, is it so and so? And my mom was like, how did you know that? I said, I don't know. I just kind of guessed it. I wasn't sure. And they're like, yeah, my brother's like, it's probably because you watch a lot of Scooby-Doo. And it's like, I don't know, it just seemed like maybe this was the person who did it. And he's like, because you watch a lot of Scooby-Doo.
If you were 80 years old, what would you tell your children and or grandchildren?
Oh, there's so many things. Probably, I know it sounds kind of stupid, but, you know, live as if you'll die. Dream as if you'll live forever. Live as if you'll die tomorrow. You know, don't. Life is too short to take risks. Or not to not take risks. Like, if I like a guy, believe you me, he's gonna know. Because life's too short. Because for all I know, he could totally be interested in me. Or he could, you know, a few years down the road or whatever, if we're both single, he could be interested in me.
Yeah. It's a good mindset. I absolutely won't take advantage of that. Or with someone I like, it's just kind of like, I'll wait, and maybe they like me back. And
I just kind of, it's just, I take comfort in saying, okay, I will, you know, tell them that I like them, and then if they, you know, decide later on, hey, I kind of like her too, and I know she likes me, so that's kind of where I get that from.
Yeah. I guess I would, if I had children and grandchildren, I'd probably say,
and that's assuming I even have children.
Right, exactly, that's what I was thinking, just like, I'd probably say, what are you doing in my house? Who am I? Who are you? Probably what I'd say. If I were going to impart my wisdom onto my offspring, I would probably say, be yourself, because no one else can, and nobody knows you better than yourself, and don't let people you don't care about, don't care too much about people who don't care. Well, no, that's bad.
Don't put too much, don't care a whole lot about. If people don't like you, don't necessarily, they aren't worthy of your time anyway.
Right.
Oh good, I got it right.
And then I'd say, don't trust those, dirty, what's the most offensive thing I can say, while saying PG,
Let me think about that for a second.
Don't trust the furries.
Bro, I'm so sorry if you were in this fandom. Bronies suck. That's like the most offensive thing I can say. Not this. I'm sorry. I don't necessarily feel that way, but that's like the most offensive thing I can think to say, because I know there are so many people in that fandom who will get so riled up if you say that to them.
Yeah. Well, I think there's. Yeah. I think there is a difference between a My Little Pony fan and a brony.
Oh, there's definitely a difference.
Right, and I think a lot of people, the less annoying, yeah. And there are definitely bronies who aren't as annoying.
Yeah, I mean, I know some who are totally just irritating about it. Personally, they freak me out just a little bit, but at the same time, not really. Like, it's just, there's something a little bit unsettling about, you know, people, or, you know, men, you know, grown men liking something that's aimed at 5-year-old little girls. There's just something a little bit unsettling about that to me. I know that they probably don't mean any harm most of the time, but
right.
There's just something slightly unsettling about that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, I had kind of a phase where I was a brony, and I was just kind of like, oh, I didn't mean any harm. Looking back, I took it more seriously than I should have. So, I don't know.
I mean, I don't have anything against bronies in general. It's just slightly unsettling to me. And I mean, I actually and I've never told anybody this before, but he's probably never going to watch this anyway. I actually was briefly dating a guy who liked My Little Pony. Like, he was kind of he wasn't really a brony. Like, he wasn't like a diehard fan, but he did watch it and he did enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
and whatever, and it's like, okay, there is a difference between enjoying it and being a brony.
Yeah.
But it was kind of, I mean, I never said anything to anybody because he told me not to, but it was kind of like, this is,
Yeah.
this is just kind of, it wasn't quite as bad because, he wasn't like, oh my gosh, I love My Little Pony and I have a little Rainbow Dash plush or I have a little Fluttershy plush or whatever. It wasn't quite like that, but he did enjoy the show and he wasn't afraid to admit it.
Right. And I said before, you should never find shame in anything you enjoy. Truly, like, unless it actively is hurting someone or yourself.
Yeah, or if it's like, or if it's
Glee. Anyway, so if you have hate mail, be sure to send it to gmail.com and actually bleep that out, Corey, because that's my actual email. So, so yeah, I had something else I was going to say. Yeah.
Another question.
Yeah, let's do one more, and then we can sail off into the evening or morning or afternoon or whatever this is.
Yeah, it's kind of evening here, late morning, or not late morning, late afternoon.
Yeah.
It's not late morning here, it's the wrong place.
Yeah. Here's a good one to end on, kind of a high note. What is the funniest thing that's happened to you recently?
Oh, yeah. My sister and I were going to go to a local amusement park, or not my sister and I, my sister, my brother, and my mom were going to go to a local amusement park recently. And I accidentally let it slip to my sister that they're going. I said, oh, yeah, have fun there. I'm not going to say where because that'll give away where I live. But I said, okay, yeah, have fun and whatever. And she said, wait, what? And I'm like, I didn't say anything. Kind of like I'm like freaking out because I know she's going to say something if, it comes up and whatever. I knew it was going to come up. And I'm like, okay. So I said, Lissy, pretend like you didn't hear me just say that, because Mommy's going to ask you, and it was supposed to be a surprise, so pretend like it's a surprise. So my mom came into the room and, says, okay, here, put this on, we're going out to eat. She's like, my sister's like, where are we going? And it's like, oh, we're going out to eat, whatever. She's like, in a swimsuit? Because my mom handed her a swimsuit. And my mom's like, just get dressed, and whatever. And Lissy, as soon as my mom leaves the room, Lissy just looks at me and gives me a big thumbs up. So it's like, okay, yeah, I just love, I tweeted later, I said, I love it when siblings have your back.
Yeah.
That's about the funniest thing I can think of that's happened recently.
Yeah. Funny thing that happened to me recently, while we were camping, we were playing Uno at 11:30 at night with my family, which is not the best for making bonds, best for ruining friendships and stuff.
Huh.
And so at one point I start saying things in this voice that just,
oh boy,
everyone just thought it was hilarious. It was just like, oh no, a draw too. That's my least favorite card to play. It's this really nasally voice. And everyone just started losing it because we were all kind of loopy and it was a long day. So there you go. Alright, and that is Admincast episode 4. Thank you all for listening. Where can we find you, Katie?
You can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Kupkate215. That is my fan page. You can message me through there, any questions or whatever.
Alright, and of course you can find you on Captain Killjoy.
Yeah, that too.
Kupkate the page, and
Brony Bob.
Right. Your lyric page, should I?
Yeah. You can link that. It's just Facebook.com/Katie's Lyrics. You can link it in the description or whatever.
Right on. And as always, you can find me on Punny Pete and Last Wordbender and Really Good Amos Paint Art and very super good, clean, funny, very super good, very pictures super very clean. And I think that's about it. Give us a final word.
Thank you to Duane for letting me do this, and I really hope other people enjoy it as much as I did, although it might not be as fun since, you know, you weren't the ones talking, but still I hope somebody takes some enjoyment out of this.
Yeah. Excellent.